Hello, people. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. Got a pretty good stream, I think. I got a couple of things to talk about first before we kind of dive into the thing. All right, so while we're waiting for people to join, and if you're watching this, like if you're watching the VOD and you're watching them sequentially, I did end up finding out the issue that I had last day, Wednesday, with the, I was flashing, and I'm gonna go into this in a more in-depth stream, probably not the most entertaining stream ever, but you know, flashing XTCF and then installing DOS, I think is a pretty obnoxious thing. So I want to go into detail about that. But I tried it last time, and I was not getting the XTCF card to like the BIOS, the firmware to load. So I was going through the XT IDE CFG utility. Wow, that's long. And flashing the firmware that way, and that's what you have to do to get the XTCF card to work. But the problem was, I ended up finding the problem by, I like randomly Googled the problem I was having, and I found a 2 or 3 year old Google Groups post from Sergey himself. So Sergey is the person who was building this XTCF card, and he mentioned it might be because of this upper memory block thing for the Micro 8088. So if you look at the Micro 8088, I always struggle with that. If you look at it, there's these dip switches in the top left corner. Okay, so there's 1 through 5, and you can turn them on and off. But what those actually control, if we look at the actual documentation, if we scroll down to switch 3. The Micro 8088 has the ability to assign ranges of memory addresses to basically give more RAM using those addresses, and it kind of does it in chunks, right? So like a chunk of addresses. So I was trying to use D0000 for the address that the XTCF card was going to load into, but it was conflicting with this UMB configuration because I had switch 3 on. So it was trying to use it for upper memory blocks, but I was also trying to use it for XTCF, so I just had to disable the UMB config here. So I'll talk about that again when I go back to the Micro 88. I just figured I would give people closure quick if they were like watching these, if for some reason they were watching every single one of my VODs or something and they want to go to the next one. So anyway, so that's the first thing, is that. The second thing, which I was kind of surprised, actually I don't know why, I actually ended up making a, before we dive in, I know, just kind of killing time. I was actually kind of surprised at people's response to this. Not necessarily negative, but, so I've owned this domain, retromodding.club. I once upon a time, well, not once upon a time, it was like last year, I actually created a Mastodon instance and used that domain for a Mastodon instance, but people didn't really seem to care about that much. So oops, we're not sponsored by PCBWay this week. I made a forum. So Discourse is a software, a forum software that is pretty popular nowadays. It's kind of cool. I mean, there aren't any posts to really look at. So I set this up with the intention that maybe people might use this instead of, and here's what it looks like if you go into it. So like, here's what the posts look like. I mean, this is just kind of boilerplate, and people can respond and stuff. So like, instead of using the help channels in my Discord, people might want to switch to a forum because of the thing. This kind of all started because I found that post by Sergey, right? I solved my problem through Google search, and no one had to help me because I was able to just Google it. And the difference between Discord is basically never going to be Google searchable intrinsically, right? So I know a couple of people have mentioned that there's scripts and stuff that you can run to like scrape your Discord server and like dump the data. And there's actually also a service called Linen or something that kind of does the same thing, but it also like keeps it up to date. Like it must constantly scrape it or something, or maybe have some way to, I don't know, it updates it. And it like basically makes a web interface for your Discord server. But the thing that does, if you don't really know that much about Google searching, is Google can't index Discord, right? It doesn't have a mechanism of, because it's like the deep web is what they would call it. Like Facebook is the deep web. You can't really, Twitter is kind of weird because Twitter sometimes is indexed. Like Twitter posts can get indexed, but things like Facebook are not really, it's not indexed. And neither is Discord because it's not really a public thing. So there's a bunch of Discord servers that people might be in, right? And I kind of mentioned, there's Bob has one, and I'm not sure Voltar has one, but like there's a bunch, right? And so across all these Discord servers, there's all these people getting help, right? People asking questions, people getting help, and all that stuff basically is never going to get indexed by Google. So if somebody has the same problem, but it's only ever answered in a Discord message, then no one's going to find it. So I thought that the forum would be a good compromise, kind of. I mean, it's sort of, okay, long story short, most people hated the idea. Because, well, I think that most people just didn't want to give up the Discord life, which is fair, but I think there's more to it than just like, oh, I'm being greedy. I just want to keep using Discord because it's like minimizing my like pain to switch to another platform or something. But it's like a real-time thing, right? That's one of the appeals of Discord, I suppose, is that it's real-time. So I understand that. And so many people were just like, alternatives. Somebody posted about Linen, which is that app I was talking about. CEO mentioned that there's some kind of script that you can run. The problem with that, so I don't really want to run Linen because unless you pay Linen like $150 a month, it's under their domain. Like they'll scrape your Discord, but then it's like under their site. So it'd be kind of confusing, I think, if you're like Googling it and you find it and it's like, oh, what's this linen.com? You might be confused about what that is. So long story short, I started working on my own sort of Discord scraper thing. Oops, I forgot to tweet that I was live. It's fine. Doesn't really matter, but anyway, so I started working on my own Discord scraper. There's a .NET library. So if you don't know, I'm a software developer. That's like my job, and I don't know. So okay. Long story short, I'm trying to wrap it up, but I'm trying to make some kind of a utility because basically it's a pretty complex thing, right? It's not just a one-time scraping of like all the messages and stuff, and then like hosting it forever. Like Discord is constantly being updated, right? So you need something that is going to be automated, right? So it's going to constantly on a schedule, either maybe once a day or something. But then it's also sort of permanent. Like you want the page that is output to be static. Like you want it to kind of look like it's, from the eyes of a bot. Like if a Google bot is going to navigate in there, it's going to see it like, okay, this is all these posts, and that's what gives you like your search engine optimization. Is that it's a static thing and not like a dynamic page. So it has, like, the output of the system has to be the static kind of thing that the bot can index, but the system behind it that actually scrapes the messages has to be pretty dynamic, because my problem with using something like, well, I think actually Linen has this, but my problem with just using a scraper is, like just a script, is if somebody comes to me and they say, oh, I don't want any of my messages to be public, right? So if somebody's really adamant, like they don't want any of their posts in my Discord to be public, then what? Like I could have some options, right? Like, okay, can I anonymize your name, maybe? Like change your name, just put some kind of dummy name in there. That's one thing. Or the other thing is, okay, I still need to, in the timeline of Discord, I still need a little thing that's like, there's a message here. You're not like skipping over a message. So it needs to say like, okay, this message was deleted or removed purposefully or something. So like I need to have this system that I can, automate which channels I want to scrape, then store it in a database so that I can, show it on a web page. But then I also need to be able to block or hide sometimes people's names and stuff. So I don't know. It's kind of a complicated thing, and but I'm figuring out the technical aspect of it now. Like I can do that, I think, pretty well. It's just a matter of putting in the effort of building it and then hosting it and maintaining it and stuff. So I don't know. But the cool thing would be it's driven by a Discord bot. So basically, if anybody wanted to have their Discord archived on Google, all they'd have to do is invite my bot in there and then say, okay, archive this, and this. Like, we probably want to stick to the mod specific sort of Discord channels, but like tell me which channels you want me to archive, and then this thing is gonna like every day it's gonna just go and grab new posts. So it's a pretty sophisticated system and a lot of work really, but it's doable. Hey, Shawnami, scraping doesn't violate. I tried to Google it and it doesn't seem like it does. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, it might, but until they say otherwise, I mean, to me, this is pretty important work. Like, it's another aspect of preservation, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, I was very surprised at how many people are like, oh, just scrape it. Instead of, like they would rather not join a forum, which is, is probably the ethical thing to do, but they were like, nah, just scrape it. I want to keep using Discord. Like that was, so I don't know. I'm trying this Discord bot thing. We'll see how much progress I can make, because right now I have the ability to I have this bot that's in my Discord, so I have the ability to see basically any channel, and then I can get every message from that channel, including the people that wrote it. I mean, not to scare people, because like I said, I want to make it not scary. I want to make it so if somebody comes to me and they say, I don't want my things public, I 100% understand that. I can either anonymize their name or sort of say like, this post has been removed or something, like this post has not been being archived for whatever reason. So I want to build that into the system so that, and also the other thing is, like I said, is this, you want to be able to get things like edits, like somebody updates or edits something or deletes a post, you want to be able to maintain that and maybe necessarily not keep it in your database. Like, I don't know. There's all things you could archive things forever. Like, oh, somebody deletes their post. Like, oh, screw that. Like, I'm gonna just keep it. I don't know how to handle all those different things. So, but we'll see. I'm just trying to rush to scraping all messages on a single channel first. See how long that takes. See if it's viable, and then what the output. Like, make a little page that, I don't know. Like, it's gonna be crazy to scroll that entire thing. I don't know. It's going to be crazy. A lot of companies try to make you pay developer prices for API stuff. No, so I mean, Discord bots are a really big thing, right? So as far as I know, Discord really is fine with bot access to things. And yeah, we'll have to see. I'm not sure. Because that Linen site offers professionally, or offers as a service, like this is their company, actually Slack and Discord scraping and like mirroring. So like you can mirror any of your Discord channels publicly, and then what the kind of cool thing is, like every Discord message has it's called a hard link in web application lingo, or maybe it's a deep link. Maybe I'm thinking deep link. means that it's a link that's accessible from the internet, but it brings you to a spot in the app. It's like every message has its own URL that you could copy and paste out. I think that's true. So like from this page, you could say like, oh, let me join the Discord and this channel at the message that I clicked on. It's like I'm hoping that I could do that, so people on the website can see and can like go right into the Discord, and hopefully it will like go to that post. So that's what I'm trying to do. But anyway, so that's a lot. That was a lot. But I don't know, man. I'm scratching my head about that because I really want to solve that not index thing. And I thought forums that people would get more on board that. Okay. Anyways, that's not what we're doing tonight. I got some cool things. I've always wanted to do. Oh, I forgot to. I was gonna bring one up from downstairs, but I've done Gunpla before. If you know what Gunpla is, Bandai is the. I think they were. I mean, they make a lot of model kits, but they also were the. I think they were the publisher behind Gundam Wing, like the Gundam series, something like that. But I love building Gunpla and Gundam models. Like those are so cool. And I also okay. It's just kind of a side note. We're gonna have to assemble these, but like you might be asking what the heck is the point of this, right? Why do I want these? I don't even know. This might be an experiment. These might suck, right? These might be terrible, but the goal is to be able to use them to do the loopy mod in my 3DS. Actually, this is an LL. It's a new 3DS LL. So this is the Japanese 3DS, a new 3DS XL. I have a loopy kit, the new one, and I want to be able to install it in this, but you need to cut parts of it, the plastic. So I do have a Dremel. The problem is my Dremel is loud AF. The Remora on YouTube, but also on Twitter, mentioned that there are these two tools, I suppose. I mean, they're model kits that we actually have to build, but they're tools that Tamiya makes. Tamiya. I like. When I was building my Gundam kits, I swore by these black Tamiya flush cutters. So the difference between these and side cutters is these actually try to cut the plastic as flush as possible, whereas sometimes side cutters, they can leave like a plastic, like a bump in the plastic. So these try not to leave a bump, and you'll see. If you've never done a model kit before, man, go get a model, because models are sweet. It doesn't have to be Gundam. I mean, there's all sorts of models, cars and stuff, boats and things. So there's two different ones here. So this is the Tamiya Craft Tools Electric Handy Router, and this is the Tamiya Craft Tools Electric Handy Drill. I think these kits are actually kind of old. Like maybe they kept making them, but we'll look at inside. I think there's a copyright date, and I think they're kind of old. I don't know. Anyway, so this one it's called a router, but it's kind of like a rotary tool. So rotary tool is just a thing that spins around, and there's a couple of different tips that come with it. And actually, there's a little add-on pack. It's just different tools. Hey, it's Remora. Pronounced like the fish. Remora is a fish? I don't know. That was funny. I don't know. I've never heard. Actually, you know what? I've heard it from something. Remora. This is a little. What is this? This is the Tamiya Craft Tools. This is an electric router bit set. This is extra bits for the router. So there's all different kinds. We have this like flat grindy one, or like a long like cylinder grindy one. We have like a cutoff thing, so that's kind of neat. We have another ball thing. We'll practice on something. I have this 3D print piece of 3D print we could try to practice on. This is like tip one, pointing tip one. I don't know. So there's all these different tools. And so I'm hoping with this, plus the drill, we'll be able to cut holes and then finish the holes for that thing. All right, so let's dive into the first one, because this one actually is sealed still. So let's dive into this one, because that one's open. Oh, so the other cool thing about them is they're actually, they're battery powered. They're not plug-in. So I don't know if that means they're going to be weak sauce, like weak power, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Not like I don't think you really need that much power. I mean, obviously, this is not going to cut like PCBs or whatever. But all right, let's just take a look. There's not many that many things, pieces. There's a few things that, like just some basic terminology, not to be like pretentious or anything. But these, it's been a while actually since I thought about model kits. But they call these runners. Is that what these are called? Like like there's a bunch of parts on here, but as you can see, they're all kind of like tied together. But I also think these are these called sprues, or is the whole thing called a sprue? I think a runner is like the whole sheet, and then a sprue is like these little pieces, these little connections that connect. Like this is a piece and that's a piece, but they're connected with a sprue. I think that's right. So yeah, so basically usually every color of plastic is its own runner. Sometimes you get more than one of the same color. So let's kind of put that aside. But then we have this special bag of goodies in here. It's got like the motor. It's got some grease or something. So here's the motor. I think the problem with this, I think this is a brushed motor, which potentially means that these could die someday. Because brushed motors, they have brushes, obviously. So I can't remember the term. What's the terminology? One is the I don't know. There's two parts of a motor: the inside part and the outside part of the magnet and the metal windings. And with a brushed motor, those two pieces are touching each other, and by the brushes. The brushes are the things that touch. So it's making a constant connection between the metal magnet and the windings or something, versus a brushless motor doesn't. It actually uses magnets that alternate current. They alternate being on and off to move the thing around. So those basically never wear out, but they take a lot longer to wear out, whereas brush motors would kind of wear out. All right, so let's get to the instructions and see where we need to start. This is cool. Stator, yeah, that's right. That's one of them. Stator, and there's another one. Rotor and stator. Let's see, stator. There's two parts. This is learning time. Stator and rotor, yeah, that's right. So the stator is the stationary component. Okay, that's interesting. So I guess the outside part is the stator. And that makes sense because the rotor rotates. So yeah, the stator and the rotor, yeah, are touching each other with a brushed motor. Which means eventually all brushed motors will wear out. I think that's true. But, you know, we'll have to see. And maybe you could get replacements, because this looks like a part number. Like this looks like maybe it's replaceable. I don't know. All right, let's put this down. Oh boy, is this entirely in Japanese? Oh no, it's got English instructions. Cool, neat. Wow, look at that. All right, this is the, is there a year? Oh yeah, look at that. Copyright Tamiya, 1999. Look at that, that's crazy. So I don't think this particular one is from 1999. I think that the design is from 1999, which is crazy. Actually, Tamiya they've made RC cars, so it's a pretty well-known brand in hobby stuff. Okay, step one. So this is kind of how you do any of these models, really, is you follow instructions. It kind of tells you need some tools and things. Uh-oh, pliers. You might have to find some pliers. Got my side cutters. I got a X-Acto knife. I have batteries that we can get in a minute. Okay, let's do it. This is fun. I've wanted a good excuse to build a model. I really want to build a Gundam on stream, but yeah. Okay, attaching battery terminal. Ooh, fun. So that means we've got to find. Okay, so usually how it goes. So we need to find this piece, this plastic piece, This looks like it's a pre-made piece, the battery terminal B. So I guess we could find battery terminal B, although perhaps that... Oh yeah, okay. So I think battery terminal B might be one of these copper pieces here. Tamiya makes amazing. Yeah, I don't have any Tamiya RC cars. I have a couple of RC cars. I have some Arma RC cars. That was my brand of choice when I got into it a couple years ago. So I'm pretty new. Okay, so this is battery terminal B. But now we need to get B5. So usually the runners are all labeled by what... so this is the A runner, right? So this is A, so this is not what we need. We need to find the B runner. So I'm assuming it's this other gray one here. Gotta make sure I don't lose anything. Hey, look at that, ABS. Shout out to ABS. Okay, here it is. So this is the B runner, okay? So now we need to find B5 is this piece. So it's marked 5 here. Just wondering how many of the E-clips I'm going to use. Oh, don't tell me that. Okay. So the cool part, so when you get super serious about Gunpla, I say that kind of sarcastically because, I mean, there's no wrong way to do these. Well, that's not true. I guess if you break the piece, if you like don't have semi-okay side cutters, you might like cut the piece off. And especially when it comes to the high end, because I used to be really into RG grade Gunpla. It's sort of a small scale, like it's 1/44th scale, but it's very intricate, very detailed. So I'm kind of used to very small parts. But basically better side cutters make less of a mark on the plastic, and that matters for people that want like good plastic. But that's not really us right now. We're just trying to cut these things out. So you basically just want to cut as flush as you can to the piece, right? So you can kind of tell that there's a hopefully you can tell. Maybe I can turn my camera up a little bit. Is that bright enough? You can kind of tell that there's a little mark here. That's what people don't like when they cut stuff off. So I don't know. It's fine. And then we cut the other one off. And that's it. That is your... Like, some people will sand the edges and stuff. Not for this, but like if you're making a model but you don't want to paint it, yeah, you try to leave as little marks as possible. And if you have not as good side cutters, they leave a really big mark. So anyways, that's just like, I don't know, stuff I remember about Gunpla. All right, so we have this piece. We have the metal. This is going to take a really long time. I just realized that. All right, well, let's try to speed run it. So this piece goes under there, and then it kind of goes like that. Oops, sorry. Am I too bright now? Oh God, hold on. Too bright now. Abort. Okay, there we go. That should be better. All right, so that's the first piece. Snap. That's cool. Look at that. Snap. It tells you that it kind of falls into place there. Okay, so now we need battery terminal A. Which is what? Oh, this other little piece. Okay, so this is battery terminal A. I need to move this out of the way. Okay, we're good now. Battery terminal A goes on the other side. Ah! And this also snaps. I can't read Japanese, but one day. That's like a bucket list thing. Snap. Nice. All right, so there's our battery terminals. Nice. All right, so let's put that aside. Now we need our motor and a pinion gear. Pinion gear. So where's our pinion? I'm going to guess it was in the bag of goodies. Yep, it's in the bag of goodies. Are you going to 3D print a frame to go around the 2DS back to keep the area you need to cut well framed? Am I going to do that? I don't know. That's way more than I was going to think about it. Unless somebody already had that ready to go. Oh, you mean like the outside? I'm not sure. That's an idea. I wonder if that exists out there. So I think this is just a push fit. It's not like a D-notched thing. I think it's just friction fit on there. Oh, okay. So you can just kind of push it on. It doesn't really... It does say to use a table or something. So that's pretty... It's pretty on there. All right, now we need to get back that gray piece. And I guess we... Let me get this out of the way, the box out of the way. There's a little picture of a guy holding it on the inside. Okay, now this piece goes in here with the terminals facing up. Okay, so this goes in here with a snap also. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow, do those really just make a just they contact each other? There's no soldering or anything involved. That is really cool. Look at that. That is pretty neat. All right, there's our motor mount, I guess. Cool. All right, let's put that aside. Oh boy, we got a lot of instructions here. Attaching the trigger, apply grease. Oh, interesting. Actually, you know what? I have this super lube. I might just use this because Remora said that this was kind of a pain in the butt. They do give you a tube of grease for this. There's a blue little tube in here. But he said it was kind of annoying to use that. So I have super lube. I might just use that instead. Oh, sorry, we're not sponsored by PCBWay. I forgot. Get out of here, PCBWay. Sorry. I'm not sure, Cooper. That's an interesting idea. I wonder if anybody has that already. Excuse me. Okay, so I need this big honkin', oops. I need this big honkin' piece, A1. It's kind of hard to tell. Excuse me, it's kind of hard to tell where you start. You start here or here? I'm going to guess that this is high, because this is higher up, that's where you start. But we need B. No, sorry, A1, which is this piece here on the A runner. All right, so let's cut out A1. Okay, fun. All right, so we've got A1. But now it looks like we need B7, B4, and B6 from the B runner. So we need those pieces, but then we're also going to have to screw some stuff in. So let's... Where's B7? Okay, found B7. Part of model building is like getting into a groove. It's sort of throwing me off to like talk in between, but okay, so we also need B6, so this is B6 and B4. So B4 is up here. Oh, these parts get kind of small. Okay, so that's all the pieces we need right now for the runners. Where's the shaft stopper? What does that look like? Okay, I see this piece. So that looks like this. I think that's that. And then we need so that's the shaft stopper. And now we need the coil spring, which thankfully there's only one of. Oops, see you later. And then we need B. So let's do those first, right? So is that just a friction fit thing? Okay, let's try it. So I got to put the shaft stopper in all the way in there. Then we put, oh, apply grease. What does it say to apply grease? Oh, I see. Down here, it says to apply grease in a second. So we'll get there. So the spring, I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Oh, I need some tweezers too, I guess. So put the spring in. I don't think this is directional, but it does look friction fit, like you just push it in, which is usually the case with a lot of these kits, is things just kind of go, oh wow, look at that. That just kind of is in there. Okay. Oh, it sticks out. Wow, look at that. Neat. That's a button. We just put a button in. Neat. Okay. Now we need to do, there's a 2.8 millimeter screw. Are these all the same? I only see those types of screws. Oh wait, there's a 2x12. Wait a minute. Oh. I think I only see, wait a minute. I need to dump out the screws here. So let's put the screws, I'm gonna put the screws in a little bin off to the side here. Oh, I see those E-clips. I think it's talking about these. I think it's talking about this. I guess. It's not so it's either this or this, and I don't think it's talking about that. I guess actually look, there's on the paper here. It is the same sort of size, right? It's impossible to get it to stay. I think that's right. Should be 1-to-1 scale for the screws. Ah, nice. All right, so I need a screwdriver. Okay. Do. All right, so we need to go through B4, and B4 is the smaller one, like this, and you gotta you have to hold it correctly, I suppose, the right orientation. So this needs to go like that. Oh, I see. Also, there's like a little ledge. It's like a little ledge here. So this needs to go here. And then I'm gonna, let's see, does the screw go right through it? Yes, it does. So I'm gonna hold the screw, and then there's this. Oh, look, there's a little like lever, a little locking lever. Wow, that's interesting. So let's see, there's a specific direction it needs to go down. So that goes up, and the lever goes down. Oh gosh. Oh no. Okay, so this is hard to do. Let's get this. Do. I've been watching. This is kind of random. But we've been watching Little House on the Prairie. It's a show from the 70s. And I know it's like normally not my type of thing. Okay, let me get a little bit bigger. It's normally not my type of thing, but it was like I have a Roku TV, and there was like an ad, not an ad. I guess it was an ad. There's like live TV or something. Like it was streaming just a random episode of Little House on the Prairie. It was like season. Is this like? Oh, look at that. That is neat. So this is like a lock. This is legit, like a legit tool that you're just building, straight up building. Okay. It was an episode in like season 5. I don't know if this is a spoiler. I mean, if you want to watch, it's from 1970 something. But one of the main character girls, like the girl, there's like a family, whatever, and there's 3 girls or something, or maybe there's more. I don't know. But one of the characters goes blind in the show. So it's an hour long. They're each hour long episodes. And apparently she had scarlet fever. It's like her vision's starting to go bad, and they're trying to figure out what's wrong. And apparently they found out that she's got scarlet fever, or she had scarlet fever. Okay, so we're going to move to the next. We're moving to the next part. Over here, this part, the bottom part of this cell. So, anyways, it's like crazy episode. To like the first episode I've ever watched of that show. Okay, so this part is the trigger. Okay, so we need B8. So let's shut up and. But I don't know. It's like I said. It's really not like I'm not a religious person, so it has a lot of religious stuff in it, which is fine. Like it's not like I won't watch it. It's just it's part of that. Well, I don't know how accurate it is to actual like prairie life in the United States or whatever, but okay, so we also need B2. So I don't know. I'm gonna watch more of it, I suppose. I'm gonna watch it from the beginning. Little House on the Prairie. Never thought I was gonna watch that. I always thought it was like a girly show. I mean, no offense. I didn't know what kind of show it was. I didn't know it was like a drama. It's kind of, What is this? Oh, that's that brass piece that I had before, I think. Okay, so just trying to figure out the order of operations here. So it sounds like we need to put some grease on this. And then also this piece. Bushing. Okay. So let's bust out the Grease-O-Matic, aka this brush and the super lube. Man, it's been almost 45 minutes and I don't think I've gotten anywhere. But that's kind of usual for me. I just talk a lot. All right, just kind of brushing some super lube onto that little spot. Okay, so then this piece goes down here somewhere, somehow. Like that, something like that. Okay, now I need the trigger. Oh, so like, I'm going to spoil the first episode too. So then I started watching Little House on the Prairie from the beginning, the first episode. And it's like this, prairie family. They moved from some place else because the dad didn't have a job or didn't have work or something. So they come to this new town. And the dad doesn't have any money for that. He has enough money, I guess, to build a house. So he builds his own freaking house, first of all. Crazy. Secondly, he doesn't have any money after that to start a farm. That's like farm time, and he doesn't have the money to buy the. I don't know which way around this. Oh, here we go. Never mind. I'm looking at the picture better. So it goes like this. Oops, it doesn't drop it. So he goes to this first place in the first like cattle feed whatever place where you can pick up some supply. Okay, so then you need to put the bushing. So there's this little bushing. The bushing goes under here. So he goes to this first place to ask if they'll loan or like give him supplies, like a plow and seeds or whatever for the first season, and he'll cut them part of his profits or whatever. It's 50 years old. You're not spoiling anything. I know. I don't know. Some people will be like, "Yeah, you spoiled Little House on the Prairie." Anyway, so the first episode, so he goes to the this other guy. He sees this other guy, right? So the first people don't want to give him money. So they said they've been burned too many times, so like they don't want to help him. So he's all right. So he leaves. Oh, a washer? Are these all the same washers? No, they're not. Some washers are bigger than others. All right, hold the story. So I think I have to have the right washer. There's a washer that's bigger and a washer that's smaller. And you have to have, I think you want the one that's smaller for these smaller screws. Okay, so, oh, and then I need the spring. Shoot. So, anyways, he sees this other person, this other feed, like supply place, and the other guy's like the barn or something has fallen in. Like part of the barn got knocked down. Oh, and then I think the spring. Oh, there's a little notch. I think the spring goes in the little notch. Man, this is like an intricate thing. Look at this spring mechanism. Crazy. But so the guy that he walks past has his roof is falling down on his barn or something, and so the main guy's he's a handy guy, so he like, oh, I'll fix your roof in exchange for a plow and some seeds. And the guy's like, yes, but also you have to stack my grain also. And not only that, the guy's like, I want it to be done in 3 weeks. And then not only that, he's like, oh, I also want the ox. He bought some oxen or something too. So he has oxen. I also want your oxen as collateral if you don't do it in 3 weeks. So he agrees to all that, right? Because he really wants his farm to be successful. He agrees to all that, and he gets this part is kind of fiddly. So he gets the barn done, and so he's starting on the grain. But he's like working his butt off because he's got to work basically like he's got to work for this guy 6 hours in the morning, and then he's got to work for a different guy, his normal job or something, 6 hours at night. Plus he's got to plow his field and plant seeds. So for 3 weeks he's just busting his butt, and he's like missing church and stuff and like crazy. He's just going ham. So he's like his family just hates it. He hates that he's missing their life. So he's like, okay, Sunday this week we'll go have a picnic or something. Wow, look at that trigger action. Nice. So on this picnic, he's flying a kite on this picnic this weekend. And the kite gets stuck in a tree. So what does this guy do? It's like a 50-foot tree. It's a huge tree. Obviously, he climbs. I think that's it, right? I think we've got... Oh, then we just have to make sure that the lock locks it. Yeah, look, it's got a little trigger lock. So obviously he climbs the tree and falls out of it at the top. If you want to at a later date, you can replace the plastic bushings with 1150 ball bearings. What? Where? What bushings? Mine was a metal one. There's a plastic bushing in there? I'm not sure what you mean, because mine had a metal one in there. But maybe you're talking about this or somewhere else. Anyway, so he falls out of the tree. Long story short, because he falls out of the tree, he can't finish the guy's grain, and because of that, he loses the guy comes and tries to collect his oxen while he's sick, while he's in bed, because the doctor says he can't. For 10 days, you can't leave bed. So the guy basically gets his oxen, and that screws him because he can't work on the farm. He can't do his farm. So then, long story short, he tries to go, like, he's still injured, and he tries to go stack the rest of the grain, and he falls and hurt himself worse. And then at the very end, like, all the townspeople come and help him, and they shun this guy. They hate this guy. Okay, attaching the shaft. There's a plastic bearing. So we need, okay, so I see remove flash. Okay, so I see D1. We need D1 as our first E-ring. Okay, so I need a little, I need my needle nose pliers. Got some needle nose on the drive shaft. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. This one here, you mean? Ah, that's interesting. Does that make it just run smoother then, maybe? That's an interesting idea. Probably just get the same. Oh, yeah, okay. 1150 is the inside and outside diameter. That show is always one tragic ass disaster after another. Yeah. I got that was part of the point of the show, to show the difficulty of prairie life, but seriously. Yeah, and plus, I'm sure 70s drama, probably was, I don't know, I'm not sure. What's another 70s drama that was thrilling like that? I don't know. Kind of slow pace too, like it was very, I don't know. But interesting, I don't know. I just never really thought about that. And sometimes I take detours, and like try to get some world experience. I mean, I don't know how realistic the show is, but actually, you know what? I have a pack of bearings. I wonder if I have the exact bearing already. Okay, so in our little bag of goodies is the first piece that we need, which is the plastic bearing. There's no inside part, it's just all the outside. So we need a little lube in there, inside the hole. So we haven't watched episode 2 yet, but I just know he got wrecked working for this guy, and then his daughter is blind. Oh, I have to put some lube on the shaft too. Actually, there's some lube here. Okay, pretty down here, I guess. Cool. All right, so we got our bearing there, but now we need D1, which is, oh look, they even give you little stickers that you can put on it. Look at the little sticker. Wow. Okay, let's cut out D1, which is this big orange gear. Oh, this is sort of hard because you have to cut it from the side. I guess it wants you to cut it sideways here. Okay. So now it's time to do the old clippy clip. Which way in does the gear go, actually? It looks like there's like a bumpy out part and then a not bumpy out part. So I think the bumpy out part goes inside, just based on the next picture here. So we need to put this down there. Oh, wait, it just sits on it. It doesn't go any further than that. Okay, so now we need to get that E-clip on there. All right, where's an E-clip? Here's one. Look how tiny these things are. Wow. Okay, well, wish me luck. Okay, let's just get it on there first. Okay, then we take our needle nose. Hey, first try. All right, nice. So that fixes the gear on the shaft. Nice. All right, and now, oh, okay, now we need more, right? Now we need D2 and a washer, 3mm washer. Oh, okay. So I guess, so we need lube on the washer. I don't know if we need it on both faces. Okay, so there's lube on that washer, and that goes on top of the E-clip. Okay. Put that down for a second. Oh, sorry, you probably missed that. I just put the washer on top of the E-clip. Now we need D2, which is the other part of this orange runner. So let's cut that out. This is probably going to be my least watched stream, but that's all right. People don't know what they're missing out on. The entertainment value and the thrilling Little House on the Prairie conversation. Nice. Okay, that might not be enough, but we're just going to send it. Okay, so that just goes on the end like that. Now we need to pull this up. Oh, it wants us to grease the gear teeth? Okay, so this is going to go in there. So the white one's going to go in the first, and then the orange one's going to go in the last, like that. Sorry, I'm kind of... Okay. Yeah, so the white bearing goes there, and the orange goes there. This is off topic, but do you have an oscilloscope, and do you think you would good to have one in your kit or mounting, repairing consoles and electronics? I have one. I do. I have a, what is it called? I've never used it, actually. I have it and I've never used it. I spent $500 on it a couple of years ago. Siglant? I don't know what the model number is, but it's a 4-channel Siglant oscilloscope. And I think it would be, it's on my bucket list to get better at electronics, like actually like debugging hardware level issues, like fixing actual broken consoles. Most of the time, the consoles that I get are already working. Actually, all the time. Or if it's not working, it's something very simple. So there are things that you can do in electronics that are impossible without an oscilloscope. So I guess that's what I'll say, I suppose. But you know, how to explain further than that, I'm not sure. Like you can do debugging stuff like signals of like. Sometimes you want to capture like part of a signal, okay? And like you want to visualize a signal, a digital signal or an analog signal or something. Basically, you can't really do that otherwise. Maybe with like a logic analyzer or something, but that's kind of like an oscilloscope, maybe a little different. So, okay, now it wants me to rub lube on all of the teeth. So I would say that it is probably a good thing, but it probably is not necessary until you come to that time where you're like, dang, I can't debug this without an oscilloscope. A multimeter is invaluable. Like if you don't have a multimeter is necessary for sure. I don't do enough repair level work to have used, and I have one. I literally have one. I have not needed to use it yet, my oscilloscope. So, I don't know. Hopefully that was an answer. I want to fix that, in the future someday. Part of the problem is I don't have it out. Like it takes up too much room. Sometime in the future, we're hoping to move to a bigger house, or just, yeah, move to a different place. And I'm hoping to be able to have some kind of a better workshop with a much big, you know, just more space that I can dedicate to having tools and things out. So in that case, it will definitely be out. And maybe then but that's kind of an excuse for myself. So I don't know. Zaxor could probably answer that question better or differently, I suppose, but he's an actual EE, so like that's what he does for a living. But there's also stuff you can do with analog too with it, like making sure signals are correct. Like if you're not getting, like if you're trying to debug the output of something, like analog output. So that's a more relevant like video game thing. But you know, I don't know. All right, next page or the other side, I suppose. We're getting there. I think, does that mean we're almost done? I don't know. We're on number 5. Step number 5. Attaching switch terminal. Oh, okay. So this is like a close-up of this step here. All right. So I think we need the rest of the owl. So let's get the other piece. We need the other A2. It's called, but that's just this other big piece here. It would be neat to have Zaxor on to do like a crash course in using an oscilloscope, because I would love to do that. Like talk to somebody about it. I know there's videos. I even know that Steve and Bob have one of how to use the Rigol one. But there's nothing better than being able to ask questions. It's like this is a case here. There's like just because of where the sprue was, it's kind of hard to get with the flush cutters because it's not a flat surface. So sometimes you can just carefully take like side cutters or an X-Acto knife and clean that up instead. I don't know. Kind of make it worse. So that's fine. All right, so we need to put, first things first, we've got to put the motor assembly in. That just kind of goes in here, and it mates with the pinion. Then we need the other battery door. Which goes up here. Okay. Or the other battery thing. And there's a diagram if you need to know how that goes in. Oh, what's this piece? B1. Okay, so we need another piece. B1. Oh, here it is. B1. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff in Mr. Land happening with the talkie guy or person and their low cost Mr. thing. Okay, so this goes on top of that, I believe. Oh. Does that mean that this... Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, our trigger thing needs to go in that gap. I don't think anything else needs lubed, right? Just this goes on. This is cool, man. Dang. Okay, so now we need our 4 other screws, the other ones that were in there. The coarse screws, I suppose. Let me get a bigger bit Actually, maybe these are Japanese JIS screws. No, can't really tell. Let's get my biggest one. That's better. Okay. It gives you a ton of those E-clips so you don't lose them. Dang, that's funny. Oh, there was a little peg that kind of kept those two pieces together. I mean, it looks pretty legit. I mean, this is a thing that we just built, and it's like, hey, I'm a tool now. Okay, then we need to cut out the last piece we need to cut out is the battery door. Yeah, the Mr. Scaler thing, like the the talkie thing with the scaler, or like the HDMI input. Okay, I think we can put batteries in now, I guess. I don't have, I wish I had more rechargeable ones, or I don't have enough rechargeable ones is what I'm trying to say. But it does warn you not to use nickel cadmium batteries. Okay. Let's put the batteries in. Woo, satisfying. Does this just go now? Woo! Whoa, sick. What is it having you do here? It's like, oh, let's drill this thing. I will buy multiple misters for arcade machines. One Tate mode for shmups, one for light guns, and one for fighting and beat 'em ups. Yeah, nice. Another thing on my bucket list is getting a. I mean, I guess I would like an actual arcade cabinet, like one of those big stand-up ones. But if not, then I would take a one of those Ulix cabinets, the new style ones that you can sit down at, like the Japanese style new ones with like the normal flat screen TV. Like I just think that would be a cool way to sit down and yeah. All right, so it says you can attach. Here's the instructions on how to attach the chuck and the collet and the bits and stuff. So we need to take our bag of goodies here. And there's comes with one tool. Okay, so it sounds like we've got to push the button down. All right, I guess the chuck just kind of goes in there. Then the collet for the chuck kind of screws on it. And you have to push this button down because it has like a lock, which actually works kind of well. So let's put this on. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to try this this slicer looking one. Oops. The Unico Nova Blast. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, the thing is still pretty loud. All right, I have this piece of. There's this. If I can cut this piece off, actually, that would be a really good thing because I would use this. So let's see if I can cut this. This is a PCIe bracket, but for some reason the 3D printing file had this little piece in it. So let's try to cut it off. I don't think it would be good for this kind of, this thick of a thing. If it was like 3DS plastic, it might be. Let's try this. Can I cut this off? Because this is pretty much junk. Ooh, dangerous. Don't do this at home, kids. Maybe this bit just kind of sucks. Or maybe ASA is just too good. Am I missing something? Well. It's definitely small. Is it quieter than a Dremel? No. It took 84 years, but we cut this thing off. I could probably cut it off faster with an X-Acto knife. I'm not sure what my thoughts are on this thing. It's cool. It's possible that the vibration might be oh, it does also kind of shake, so maybe having an actual bearing in there makes it better. I don't know. I really don't have a piece of plastic. Oh, I do, I guess. How about this? Can I cut this? Maybe that's the point. Maybe it's just not meant for cutting very deep. Well. I don't know. Try one of the other tools maybe. And then we'll move on to the drill thing. All right, let's blast it. Oh, this tool works way better. Maybe it was the tool, that other tool that sucked. This would be good for like you know, finishing up a hole after you drilled it. You know, very precise. Like a file, I guess, but better than a file. Is that a cutoff wheel? It looks like one. Oh, you mean is the face? Oh, maybe the face is Maybe the side is not. Okay, I see now. Maybe it's for sanding. So there's no tool that's like a sanding thing. That could be fine though. Basically like drill the holes and then... You're probably right. This is probably... But it also has it here. That's kind of interesting how it has more than one face. So you're saying it's like one of these guys. Like the face of it has stuff on it. I'm not like a model guy that much. Oh yeah, that is true. One of these can remove solder mask, like the ones that are like the ball thing, or there's even a smaller one I've got. So that would be cool in certain circumstances where you want to take very small amounts. Actually, that might come in really handy for, well, I'm not sure. Eventually I want to do the tiny tendo. Not quite fast enough to melt plastic, yeah. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Let's check out the drill, because that might be, it's not going to be different, but that might be useful for getting holes started, you know, and then you can always file them later. So let's put these bits back. I think the build was neat. We'll have to see. I'm not gonna give up on it. We'll try it with the DS. It might just be that the DS plastic is thin enough. But people are gonna watch me do that on stream and they're gonna be like, "What the hell is happening?" That's funny. All right, where's my drill one? I don't know if I'm gonna finish this one. This one is sealed. HDMI trace repair. You don't own the router, so you don't have any experience. Oh, but you have the drill. There's a person on YouTube that built both of them, or he had a review of both of them, and he said that the difference between them, they're sort of mostly the same mechanism. The router has that second gear, which changes the gear ratio. It basically makes it slower than the drill, but gives it more torque, apparently. So maybe it would work better actually with rechargeable ones. I don't know. Put some 18650s in there. Ooh, nice blue. Wow, it doesn't come across. I guess it does. It's pretty blue. Alrighty. I don't know where this little sticker was supposed to go on the other one. Doesn't really seem to be a spot for it. But we'll figure it out. Okay. Let's get the instructions. It's probably going to be the exact same thing. Pretty much. All right, so we need the battery holder thing. Where's the side cutters? The drill is 90% the same, just more gears. Oh, it has more gears? Oh yeah, you're right. That's weird. Huh. So that makes it faster then, I guess? I don't know. Gear stuff. Snap. Oh, so I guess I was planning to do a GameCube kind of shootout, but I think I don't have another GameCube power supply. I'd have to look, but it might be an interesting excuse to either see if he'll send me one. I hope, you know, maybe, or order the Mr. Add-ons, the USB power delivery one, the thing for the GameCube, because that would be convenient instead of having to buy a used thing. You just grind worm gears at work. Gearing ratios are above my pay grade. Yeah, pretty much. All right, so that's the battery, or the motor thing. All right, now we need the bottom side. You know what? I'm gonna sit. Can I sit? Let me get this out of the way. I've also got to, I don't know, I got to figure out how to get DOS installed. I tried installing DOS 3.3 on the Micro 8088, but it didn't look like it booted after I got all the files copied over. It's sort of an archaic way to install it. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to give it another try. I'm going to be, you know, including that with how to use the XTCF card, but I guess I got to figure out how to use it first. Ah! All right, so I need B7, B6, and B4. And B4. Okay. I need to put this in here. This goes in here. And then that on top of it. Nice. Okay, now we need to do this weird thing again. That, where's my screws actually? Well, I don't know, man. I keep thinking about my that Discord bot thing. Like, I'm trying to think of features right? I don't want to make it too big. I don't know if anybody out there that's listening to this or watching the VOD later, if you're a developer, but I've already figured out how to use the library, the Discord bot library, to log in basically as the bot, and then it will give me all the servers of the names of all the servers and the IDs in Discord's system that for all of the servers that the bot is in. Actually, they call them guilds in the API. And then it gives you all I can get all the categories and all the channels in those categories in the server. And then I can get all the messages. So I've gotten that far already. And as well as like the names of the people, basically anything. So I have all the data, or I have the ability to get all the data. But now it's just like, like, how do I make a good app? How do I make a good like? When I say good, I mean like, I don't know. I don't want to do make a evil kind of scraper. You know, I just want it to be able to allow people to find posts on like find solutions to stuff. Right? So I don't know. So that's what I was thinking. You know, in the beginning of the stream, I talked about having the ability to have people let me know if they want their posts to not be archived. So basically, it'll be every day or whatever, every so often, like on a schedule. It will run for each channel that I enable. Right, so for my server, I have a bunch of like console-specific mod channels, right? So people ask questions about per console, and so I think that would be really helpful for people to be able to see, you know, for their console. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I need to lube up again. Ah. All right, now I need to get the gear thing and the other screw. Oh, here it is, spring thing. And then the little bushing. Okay, so the bushing goes in. Or wait, the bushing goes down here. Actually, it's easier just to put the bushing in here. Bushing. And that goes here. Now I need my spring thing. And then I need the small screw. No, the big screw. Big screw and small washer. Cool. That's fun. Okay. Next to work on the shaft. So where's the shaft part? Oh, this one's a little bit different. Okay, so we got a drill shaft. Ooh, look, there's some pegs. Maybe these little pegs in here. Look at that, that's different. Okay, so let's lube the inside of the plastic bushing, or the plastic bearing. Okay. So that goes, oh, then I gotta lube the bottom of the thing. Lube the bottom of the shaft here. Okay. Now bushing, or bearing. Okay. Now I need C1. This could get tricky because there's a lot of these screws. So I need, or the gears. So I need this one first. And again, these are sideways cut. Okay. Okay, so then this is another E-clip, E-ring. So that goes on there. Let's put another E-ring on it. Boop. Ah! All right. Nice. Okay, that's on there. Now this one's a little different because there's a bunch of other gears. Oh, wait. Oh, no, this is correct. Okay, they're pinned on the other side of this. Okay, so let's look at the instructions. So that's pretty similar to the last one, but it changes a little bit down here. So I basically just did this part here, which is very similar to the last one. Now I need to get out C5 and C5, C3, and C4. See, there's two gears. Actually, that's interesting. Okay, never mind. Is that why this is... Oh, yeah, it is. That's why the model has three pieces, whereas the other one didn't use that one. This one is going to use that one. Okay, so we need C5, which is this little one here, I think, C5. Yep. Okay, then this is going to go... Oh, wait, let's just hold off. Let's just cut everything out first. So that's C5. I also need C3. Oh, let's get C4. I need that as well. That's right next to it. C4. And then I need C3. Okay, so now we need a washer that we've got to lube. So let's get one of the 3mm washers. So that's the thicker, the wider hole one. Let's get some lube on that. And then let's put that on the face of the E-clip one. Okay, now we need C4, which is this one. Or C5, sorry. It's got holes on both sides. One is bigger than one's smaller. So the bigger one goes on the end that we just cut or just lubed. Okay. Like this. Boom. Okay. Then we need to put a bunch of lube on this shaft. And then let's put the shaft through the C3 gear, and then we've got to put some lube on the teeth of the inside teeth. Probably going to need to put some on the outside or the other, this gear too, but we got to do the inside first. Okay. And that's going to go on the end of this piece like that. Now we need to put the end cap, so we need to lube that as well. Okay. And that goes on the very end. Like that. Cool. Okay, now I'm gonna guess that we can just plunk this in here, but maybe we have to move it in a second, but for now we can keep it in there. But now we need to get the last gear, C2. Okay, we need to lube the shaft, the other little thing. Okay, then that goes in this gear. Ah! Okay. I think we could put this in, but then we also need to lube the teeth of the small gear and the big gear. Okay, so let's get some lube on these gears too. I think that's the last of the lubing of gears too. Okay. Nice. Nice and smooth. Wah, wah. Nice. All right, so I think that's it, I think, for that page. Now we're on to the back, which is basically put the motor in. Huh. It's not going in there. Okay, that worked. Okay. Now we need B1, which is this. And then this bit. And then this. Oh, it literally like pushes this little thing up and hits the battery. Doop. All right, now we can get the other one off. Blue one. Big blue piece. I bet you I could use the other one to like smooth this plastic off. Okay, this piece goes on. Now I can screw. Oh. Gosh. Get in your home. Ah, there's two different collets. All right, battery time. Yay, battery time. And then the battery door. Let's test it. Ready? Oh, okay. I think I was saying the opposite. The rotary one is faster and the drill is slower and it has more torque. Very cool. All right, so what does it come with? What drill bit does it come with? I think this says it was a 2.4 millimeter. Or this is a 2 millimeter. Let me look at the box. Where's the box? I think it's 2 millimeter. Oh, I didn't get the basic drill set. Okay, so I need the 2 millimeter collet. So there's two different collets, or chucks, I mean, sorry, two different size chucks. One's for 1 to 2 millimeters, and one is for 2 to 3 millimeters. So I guess it doesn't really matter which one I think I use. Oh, maybe I should probably use the one that's with the chuck. Or the collet, I mean. Collet is the sleeve thing. So this one looks a little bit bigger. So dump that in. Put this on. Put the drill bit in. Okay. Plug the button. Press the button down. Wing wing. All right, let's try it on some plastic, I mean. Oh, yeah. Wow. Huh. That makes a really good hole. So let's say you make a hole, right? And then let's see, what would I use? My tools are in here. Let's try this one. So then I got this sander thing. Let's say I wanted to drill those holes and then like fill the gap or like clean the gap up. Ah. Nope. No, that one, well. I suppose some combination of the drill. Let's see, can we make a slot? Oh, this is gonna be a terrible slot. Okay, so we've got this. Sounds like a dentist drill, kind of. You would have to be very careful. You could seriously make a big mess. I was gonna say this might be nice for like making, like, let's say I have to cut like a USB-C hole in something, some plastic, but this router thing is not really the best. I don't know. I don't know what you would use this for. This thing kind of sucks. This one. The drill is neat. The drill is useful, for sure. But we'll have to give it a go when we do the 3DS. So, whew. Now I just got a mess all over my table. Maybe I should just use a Dremel. The lid. Where do they tell you to put the stickers on? Or don't they? It's something. What tool does it bring? What tool does it come with, you mean? This one comes with the drill, just the drill bits. This one came with, I bought this other little accessory thing. It has a bigger one of those grinding things. It has this thing that I thought was like a cutoff wheel type deal. Just because of the shape of it, but it doesn't really cut very well, very fast. Then it has, the actual tool came with, I think maybe it was this big ball one. It's like, the tool came with this. I guess that's nice for like getting solder mask off. And then it has this this conical thing. So, I don't know. Doesn't say where these stickers go. On the top, on the bottom. Let's see, is it in the picture? On the box, maybe? Nope. Not really. All right. Well, that was interesting. Definitely a change of pace. But I guess that means we have no excuse to start the 3DS, the loopy capture mod in this 3DS LL. New 3DS LL, sorry, specifically. So I don't know if we're gonna do that next or what. This is kind of a seems like a pretty challenging, not challenging. I mean, this should be easier than the first 3DS capture mod that I did, but the plastic cutting might prove difficult. So we'll have to see. But it's already been, yeah. Looks like the plastic is like breaking off this, but yeah. All right, so I'm not sure. I'll have to think about if that's going to be next or not. I did promise that I was going to do a shootout between the GameCube mods. No, it's fine, Romero. It's not your fault. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just the tool, like the actual tools. Like maybe you can get better ones or something. I'll have to Google it. Maybe somebody else on the internet knows. But this is good. This is a good idea because this is helpful for like, it's good for starting holes and things. You got one mod from him. You're talking about the loopy, probably. I was expecting more from it. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I like building stuff, and it didn't take that long, and they really weren't that expensive. So, at the very least, it was entertaining for this stream. Yeah, so what's next? Like I said, might be the loopy. I do have to do a shootout because I have the flippy drive and the GC loader and the Pico loader. Pico boot? Is it called Pico boot? Yeah. So I guess I'll get a dedicated stream just kind of comparing those. Then I got the Sloopy mod. Then I still have other mods to do. Like we've got the Neo Geo CD ODE we can install. I definitely would like to have a stream dedicated to looking at what my Game Gear situation is. I have a couple of things already, and I'm not sure what I need, if I need to buy other things like a screen or something. I have some SYF replacement motherboards. I have Ben HDMI mods and stuff. So definitely want to check that out. I also have to fix my my twin Famicom. I have stuff to rebuild the disk drive. So I would like to do that also sometime. So got plenty of stuff left to do. So, all right, Xbox HDMI. I've already done about 8,000 of them. I don't know. Do I have enough for another one? I'm not sure if I do. I may circle back to that when I... there is supposed to be a big update to the... what's it called? Project Stellar. This was the big update then, so maybe I'll have to break out on my Project Stellar machine and check that out. So, well, also we're supposed to be getting. I haven't heard anything from Dan or the Pixel Effects guys about anything really. Heard nothing about the analog bridge for the Morph. Haven't heard anything about the other gem consoles. They said something about Wii and Xbox as well. So don't know about that. Oh, also we can go down. There's more stuff for direct mode for Stellar. Yep. There's also the what's it called? The I do want to get my hands on one of the replacement power boards from Merlin Shaw now that it's been Zaxor approved. So that's definitely on my radar. But that's a pretty easy thing. That's just a power thing. But there's also the Lava. I won't say it's a clone NES RGB, but it's an alternative to the NES RGB. So the Lava RGB, I think it's called. So it's a completely standalone product from... is it Retro Castle? I think it might be Retro Castle. So it's a not brand new, but I've never done it before. I don't think I've seen output. Well, I think actually Bob streamed the Lava HD or whatever that FPGA replacement or FPGA NES thing that uses the NES CPU and PPU. And that has similar functionality. That has HDMI output, so that's an HDMI mod. So this is a little bit different. It's still a RGB output, but I definitely want to build one of those. So I'd have to do a PCBWay build stream for the Lava RGB. So that's definitely on my radar. But yeah, as always, if you guys have anything you want me to talk about or do, let me know. I'm really tired. If you haven't guessed, my energy is pretty low. So I'm going to sign off now. But I'll have to think about what we're going to do on Wednesday. So that's coming up soon. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you.